What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel, Damon's 3D Prints. I'm Damon, where I show you all my 3D printing projects and hopefully help you along the way. For this video, we are making the golden snitch from Harry Potter. This little guy right here, or should I say, this little guy right here. This one over here is the actual life-size model. Here, I just blew it up a little bit just so I can get a better view. Okay, let's jump right into the video so I can show you how I made this build. So I was scrolling through Maker World one day and I saw this file came up and I just had to have it. So I wound up grabbing the files, and after I threw it in my slicing software, I wound up printing it on my Centauri Carbon by Elegoo. I printed this build in 4 parts. For the overall parts, they came out pretty good, but the wings will need a lot of post-processing, or TLC, tender loving care. So starting off with sanding, I sanded each piece with 80 grit sandpaper. From there, I wind up giving each piece 2 coats of sandable filler primer. Once the primer has dried, I wind up going in with some wood filler. This technique I learned from the universe of Emily, where she takes wood filler and water and creates a thick paste. If you're like me and you can't always get the same consistency for the paste, if it's a thinner paste, use multiple coats. If it's a thicker paste, use less coats. Once the wood filler has dried, I wind up sanding each piece from 220 all the way up to 600. I use the same technique, wood filler, primer, wood filler, primer. Once I sanded all the parts to where I was comfortable with, I wind up moving on to painting. Right before I decided to paint, I noticed that in Harry Potter, the wings aren't always straight. So I thought, what if I had one of the wings of the golden snitch to be bent? So I wind up taking a lighter and just heated up the wings. So I wind up using a lighter just for a couple seconds where I wanted the wings to give a nice curl. You want to be extremely careful here if you decide to go this way. Too much heat, you can really ruin the wings. So you want to go very nice and steady. Once I got to a point where I liked the wings, I wind up using a base coat, a semi-gloss white spray paint. I wind up using that same spray paint for the hand as well as the ball of the golden snitch. For the hand, I wasn't really sure if I wanted to make it a color or keep it base white. I thought about possibly adding a small brown glove. I thought about maybe creating some damage on the hand, but I just wasn't sure if that was going to look good in the end. So in the end, I wind up just keeping it white and going in with a gloss spray paint. I really wanted these hands to shine. From there, I wind up spraying the wings with metallic gold spray paint. With this gold spray paint, you want to make sure the can is really shaken up. You also want to do very light coats. For the wings, you can see I just used a spool of filament as a holder and I just sprayed the wings. For the ball of the golden snitch, that was a little bit tricky. So once the hands have dried, I wound up just taking a plastic bag and use that as a cover and just lay down the ball of the golden snitch. This worked for the top half, but not so much for the bottom half. The problem is, once you flip it and gave the other side a coat of spray paint, it winds up leaving the texture from the plastic bag. The way I solved this, I wind up taking some needle and thread, putting it through the ball of the golden snitch, and hanging it from a coat hanger. I gave it a light coat of spray paint, then I wind up setting that down with 3000 grit sandpaper and giving it another coat. From there, I went back in with a gloss spray paint. Using a hanger was a whole lot easier. And once it's dry, just find somewhere to hang it. Once they've dried, these golden snitches are pretty much done. All that's left to do is glue the wings on. And just like that, these golden snitches are done. For something so small, these guys really needed some TLC. You can scale up the model to be bigger, or you can do a screen accurate version. Both of these guys came out pretty good. You can see that clear coat really shined on through. If you guys are Harry Potter fans like I am, go ahead and add this to the collection. If you made it this far in the video, I want to say thanks for watching. Follow for more.